everyone, and welcome back to the Hitchhiking Ghost podcast. On today's episode, we will be discussing, does Fantasyland need an update? Now, before 2010, Fantasyland had, aged so. After 2010, they made a few changes that were going to last many, many years into the future. Of all the changes, losing Snow White's scary adventure hurt me the most. Now, to me, I think dark rides and thrill rides are two of my favorite types of rides. And losing Snow White was really sad because I thought Snow White's Scary Adventures was pretty great. I loved how it told the story, and I just love all dark rides, to be honest. I really do. And losing one just hurts me. It hurts me real deep. So, getting into this, we're going to discuss the attractions that Fantasyland has and see if they need updating or not. So the first one I would like to talk about is the Enchanted Tales with Belle. I'm just not the audience for this attraction, so I have not done it. I think for the little girl that gets to be in Belle's gets to interact with Belle and Belle's story, I think it's awesome for them. But, for me, it's not really my thing. I'm a 21-year-old single man, so I do not care to be in Belle's story. I'm sorry to say. But I have seen a video of it, and the effects look pretty cool, but it's just not my thing. It just isn't. Also, during this update, Imagineers provided the most underrated attraction at Magic Kingdom and the most overrated attraction at the Magic Kingdom. Of course, I am talking about Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid as the underrated, and Mine Train as the overrated. Now, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid is constantly one of the shortest wait times in the whole park. As a dark ride, I don't understand why it is such a short wait. It really doesn't make any sense to me because it is a really fun attraction. You get out of the hot Florida sun. Queue is mostly inside, but the queue's doesn't really have that much AC going on for it. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you. But it does have one of the shortest wait times in the park, so it is definitely one of the most underrated rides at Magic Kingdom, and I usually go on it every single time that I'm in the Magic Kingdom because it's like 15-minute wait, 20-minute wait, 5-minute wait. So, while everything else is like, an hour everywhere. So, it's definitely one of my go-tos. It really is a great Omnimover attraction with great animatronics, and of course, The Little Mermaid is a great story. So, the ride does it justice. Now, let's talk about the most overrated attraction of probably all of Walt Disney World, to be honest, and that is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Now, the issue with this ride is it's kind of short, and it's like kind of in between. For me, I enjoy dark rides and thrill rides, and this is like a combination of the two, but the thrill rides and the dark rides are both very short. Like both of the portions are very short, so you can't really enjoy one of them. And the thrill ride, it's not really that thrilling, but as a first roller coaster for the little ones, it's a great attraction, and I think that's why it warrants such a ginormous wait. I mean, seeing it at 2 hours is not uncommon for this ride, and of course, if you want a fast pass, you gotta stay on site, and 60 days prior, you gotta lock this one in. So, because of these reasons, I kind of stay away from it because, I just don't like waiting that long. It does have a cool queue. It does. And it has cool dark ride portions. But again, it's just so short, you can't really enjoy it that much. But whenever the dwarves sing, hi-ho, it's pretty cool. It really is. It really is a good time. But for me, it's still not my thing. Now, Peter Pan. During this update, it finally got a great queue. It's not all outside portions, outside down and backs now. And of course, it's still a great ride, but the queue is interactive, and that's pretty much the story of this whole update is let's just make every single queue of Fantasyland rides interactive, and fun to be in. Now, PhilharMagic. This attraction is definitely, I believe, is on its last leg. It's been there for 17 years, and it just hasn't really gotten that many updates to improve it. It's kind of like a sing along, because if you know the songs, it's a sing along. But yeah, it goes between different popular songs of different Disney movies, and it's a cool show. But I really love the ending portion when Donald is like flies behind you and gets stuck in the vent. I think that is very cool. But I definitely wouldn't be surprised if this leaves the next giant Fantasyland update that's going to happen. And then next we have The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And this ride, another dark ride, which I love. And it's very enjoyable. It's really fun. And they also added you guessed it, an interactive queue, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool, but it's all outside. Most of the interactive elements are outside, just like Snow White's and the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's all outside mostly. So those interactive portions aren't really my thing because it's outside in the heat. And then the final attractions I would like to talk about are not really my thing either, but it's the Barnstormer, Dumbo, and the Teacups. Now, these three attractions, again, they're not really my thing. The Teacups kind of make me a little bit dizzy. And Dumbo, I don't really like those rides. I don't know why. It's just not really my thing. I don't like spinning rides in a circle. Like any county fair that has these sorts of rides, I don't get on them. And county fairs, let's just get this out of the way, they suck. They really do. I once got onto a ride that had been repaired with duct tape. And so after that, I have never been back to a county fair. I think it's been like 6 years. So, and all those rides make me sick because they're just spinning, no theming attractions. So, they're terrible. And then we have the Barnstormer. I'm a little bit, it's not really made for me. It's made for the little ones. I don't have a child, so I do not go on this ride. But these rides, especially with Dumbo getting that second, the second ride vehicle, if you will, like, the second separate ride that they made. They will definitely please guests and will remain staples of Fantasyland for probably a really long time. And they have been staples of Fantasyland for a very long time. So, definitely expect them to continue that. So, the attractions, in my opinion, after this last update, they're fine. They're like really quality rides. It's not like Tomorrowland where most of them are completely neglected. Most of these rides are actually well taken care of. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Small World. Let me speak about Small World just a little bit. I think that those rides are awesome, of course. It's a classic. And this one also is a little bit shorter of a wait than, Peter Pan across the street from him. Peter Pan gets like an hour wait easily, hour plus. And then Small World, it's sub 60, so it's a little bit below that. I've seen it as a 10-minute wait, 15-minute wait. But usually it sticks around 30 to 40 minutes. But it's a great ride. And it's like a 10-minute ride, so definitely go on it. You definitely get your money's worth. So, in my opinion, the attractions do not need an update, like a huge update like Tomorrowland does. Now we will speak about dining. Now the dining in this theme park as a whole is just not there, And Fantasyland does have a little bit better than all the other lands. I mean, I think Liberty Square still has the best dining out of all of them. But Cinderella's Royal Table is wickedly overpriced. It is not my thing either. I do not care for character meals, and I don't care to spend that much money on any type of meal. especially character. So, Be Our Guest is fantastic theming, but the food isn't all that great. I think it's pretty good, but it's honestly not the best dining establishment at Magic Kingdom. But again, it's still really great theming and kind of good food. So it's definitely up there. Because I did eat in the ballroom once, and oh my gosh, that was incredible. I really enjoyed that meal because, it was decent food and awesome theming. So it's definitely a great time. But the price tag is not very welcoming to most families and is definitely not welcome to a college student. So it's not really my thing, and I'll probably never eat there again. And then all the quick service, like the Pinocchio stuff, the Gaston, like they're all basically the same thing. I don't really care for any of them. And, the quick service at Magic Kingdom just is so mediocre. Other than Pecos Bills, I do enjoy Pecos Bills. I think that is a wonderful quick service location. But other than that, everything is mediocre at the Magic Kingdom food-wise. So all in all, I love the theming in Fantasyland, and I enjoy the new Rapunzel tower that they made. I mean, they're bathrooms, but, it's whatever. I hope that they do make a Tangled attraction right next to it, because Tangled is one of my favorite movies and it is awesome. So, yeah, the theming is top notch in Fantasyland. I mean, inside Be Our Guest is absolutely incredible. And I also love this little touch, in Gaston's tavern. He uses antlers in all of his decorating, which is a lyric of the song. I think that's a cool touch to me. I think that's cool. So I think that this land can coast for quite a while until they need a update like Tomorrowland does. But Tomorrowland is still the most disappointing land at Magic Kingdom. I think it desperately needs an update. But Fantasyland, on the other hand, it does not need an update, and it is a great land, and it will continue to be a great land for a long, long time. So that will do it for this episode of the Hitchhiking Ghost podcast, and I appreciate everyone for listening, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week. Bye, everyone.